Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. Today, I am here with my good friend, Melissa Ann. How are you doing?
I am great. How are you?
I am awesome. It is hitting the holiday season, and we're recording this, and awesome to just catch up with you.
I know I'm excited to be back. It's been too long since I've talked to you guys.
Absolutely, the you can come on anytime was a given to let us know when you want to come on more. So, so for those of us, those friends, family, whoever watching today that don't know who you are, would you like to answer the hardest question ever? Who is Melissa Ann?
Question I ask myself every day. So Melissa Ann is a country singer-songwriter. I am based in New Jersey, more South Jersey. I've been performing now for about 6 years, which is crazy to think about. But I've been writing more original music and I've been going around singing covers of my favorite songs and sprinkling in some originals. But Melissa Ann is just super excited to finally have more original music out for you guys to hear.
It is great music. And
Thank
speaking of that, I'm going to lead right into that single
yes.
about your grandparents, Joseph and Marianne. Tell us all about that. I mean, I get where you got the inspiration from, but I guess kind of why? Why would you want to write about them?
So my grandparents, Joseph and Mary Giordano, they have been passed away now for about 10 years, which is again crazy to think about. Um, I actually had a dream about them one night, believe it or not. I had a dream about them that they were still around, and I always aspired to have a relationship like they did. It was not a normal relationship. They both definitely had their quirks and what made them who they were, which I tried to put in the song the best I could. But they loved each other so much and they valued family so much. And I always admired that about them. And I always hoped that I would find something like that someday. And the words just started coming together. And to be honest, it was very easy to write. And I didn't think it was going to be easy to write. It just kind of happened. And I got it all written in one day. And I met up with some friends who were able to help me put the music behind it. And the rest is history. So I'm just happy that everybody loves it.
It is a great song. And it's so cool that, like you said, you had a dream like they were still here. I think that's our loved ones when they pass. I think they come back to us in kind of a, yeah, I'm doing okay. It's going to be okay. And sometimes maybe even just to give you that message of whatever you're going through, it'll be okay. Like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's unique when we have our loved ones that feel like we're right there with them in a surrounding like that too.
Absolutely. It was very comforting to know. And like when I woke up from that night and the next day, like it was just so amazing how easy everything came written, probably within like an hour or two, something like that. I had it all written down. I'm like, all right, I just need music now. But no, yeah, it's a really special song and it means a lot to me.
Some of the best songs just come naturally like that and just easy. you know
Hmm.
it's kind of like when you look at Dolly Parton and Jolene and I Will Always Love You on the same day, like that is crazy, like so that's why it's like it's so cool to hear how people come up with it, or how they write it.
Yeah, I don't know how that woman does it. Her and Taylor Swift, I don't know who's worse. But they both have songwriting skills that I don't think I will ever have. And of course, they're two of my biggest inspirations. But with Joseph and Marianne, it was the first song that I've written things in the past, and I always kind of tucked them away and saved them because either I couldn't finish it or I was thinking of something else at the time. And Joseph and Marianne was the first song that I knew exactly how I wanted it to sound. I knew exactly what I wanted from that song. And I know if I didn't do anything about it, I would have lost my mind. I couldn't wait to get into the studio and actually do something about it.
So great though. It's so awesome when you just you're like, I have this and I gotta do it because as a writer, I get the same way. I'll be like writing something, I'll be like, oh, this is a great idea. And I'm like, no, I think I need to save this for co-write because it's like not coming together. Like it's a great like book or this or that. And I'm like, it's just not coming together. But yeah.
Mhm. And luckily I had help. I can't take all of the credit. So I did end up writing all of the lyrics. But when it came to the music behind it, I turned to my friend. His name is Raquel Holloman. He's extremely talented. He's actually in his own country band called Big Country and the Finger Picking Good Band. If you haven't heard them yet or checked them out, they are awesome. Um, I performed with them a couple of times because they invited me to on a couple of occasions. And I was rehearsing one day with them and I turned to Raquel. I'm like, hey, like I have this idea for a song. I think I know what I want it to sound like, but unfortunately, I don't play an instrument. So I'm like, can you help me out with this? And we sat down together and literally within 10 minutes, he had the melody and like everything. And I was just like, this is perfect. And at the end, when we were done fiddling around with everything, he just kind of looked up at me and he goes, you need to record this. Like, you need to do this as soon as possible. And I was like, okay. But I had his help with the music and he was awesome to work with.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
So, and I know we were talking a little bit before about we have some new songs in the works and things like that. But tell me, before we go into the new stuff, for this last year, tell me what is your most memorable professional, as in music, moment that you've had this past year that you could share with us?
Oh gosh, my most memorable. I mean, right now, it would probably have to be the single release because this was Joseph and Marianne was the first original song that I've ever put out into the world. It was my first time ever in a recording studio. It was my first time going through that whole process, and I learned so much from it. Um, and I only recorded the one song at the time because I was kind of teaching myself how this whole process went when it came to recording and publishing and things like that. And I would probably have to say the Joseph and Marianne single for me was the highlight of this year so far. And it's been so well received. Everybody's been loving it. And I get messages every now and again, like saying that they love the song so much and it means a lot to them. And so I think everybody can relate to it, luckily. So that's probably been my highlight.
Absolutely. I think that's so relatable because everyone wants that iconic love, if you will, right? That person that gets me, that just that love, that awesome. Yeah,
Like I always tell people like I think everybody has a Joseph and Marianne in their life. Like it doesn't have to be their grandparents necessarily. It could be your sibling has a really great relationship that you aspire to have. It can be your best friend that has an amazing relationship you want to have someday. So I think everybody has that one relationship that they aspire to be like.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So over the last few years, now, obviously, how do you feel that music has helped you grow personally?
It has helped me grow. Songwriting in particular has helped me grow. Um, I, like I mentioned before, I've written things in the past, but I've always kind of tucked them away for unknown
Mhm.
reasons. And I feel like, especially during COVID, when we were shut down and locked down and away from the world, it kind of gave me that time to focus on songwriting more and to come up with ideas and write them down and try and do something about it. So I would say songwriting in particular, I feel like I've grown in that department because now I've made sure I've dedicated the time that I wanted to do something with the songs that mean a lot to me. I remember posting when Joseph and Marianne was coming out back in August. I had mentioned in my caption like something to the effect of like time is a gift, but it's also a thief. So like I have time now that I can use to write the songs that mean a lot. And it's also a thief because I had many ideas and songs kind of like tucked away for a long time. And now I can actually do something about it. So I when it comes to songwriting and writing about things that mean a lot to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is one thing, obviously from your original music here, and obviously the new stuff that's going to be coming out next year, that you hope listeners take away?
I just hope the songs that I write are relatable. Like I plan on releasing an EP within the next year if all things go according to plan. And I plan on naming it something to the effect of like I've been there. I want people to be able to relate to the songs that they hear from me. I want them to be able to say, "Oh, I've gone through that too," or "Hey, that happened to me," or "Oh, I know somebody like that." I don't want to create a song where I'm the only person that's experienced it. I want other people to kind of have that relation and have that connection as much as possible.
Absolutely. I think that makes the listener feel closer to say, oh, wow, I've had that same experience. I wonder if she's had the same experience, or it's a friend or someone else she's written about, or where the music
Yeah.
comes from. So that it gets more interested, you know?
Yeah,
Sure.
and that's why I think the EP, the name I've been there is kind of perfect because like I just want to tell people like, hey, I've been in your shoes before. I've been in this situation before. I've had this happen to me. Here's the story. And they can hear all of the stories on it.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm definitely excited. So
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we do a nice little upcoming music interview when that comes out too. You'll have to come
Oh,
back sooner than later.
you will be my first people that I call. Trust me. I'm very excited about that.
We're definitely excited as well. So tell our listeners some of the shares and women that have inspired you to do music.
Some women that inspire me. There's a long list. So I think the last time I talked to you guys, I had mentioned people like Dolly Parton and Miranda Lambert and Taylor Swift, and that all still holds true. They all are definitely high on my list when it comes to women in country music. Some new names that have appeared on that list are now Lainey Wilson. I love her so much. Um, if I could dedicate a whole show to her, I probably could, or like a whole set list to her, I probably could. Um, and I just think she's another great storyteller. And Kelsey Ballerini is another one. I believe I also mentioned in my last interview as well. Her new album that just came out, Patterns. I don't know if you've heard the whole thing yet, but it's spectacular. It's
Yes.
awesome. And she really inspires me because again, I think hers is an album that a lot of people can relate to. I know I can relate to a lot of the songs that were on there. And then if I had to choose another one, I would say probably a newer one that's like coming. Her name is like Ella Langley. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I don't want to mess that up. But her stuff that she's been coming out with recently is amazing, and I think she's a really talented singer-songwriter.
Absolutely. Those are all great women. And, we always ask because, not just to obviously hear the women we've already heard, but to get some new women and say, hey, check out this lady or check out that lady. And I think this really does broaden that by asking who your sheroes are.
Exactly. And again, some sheroes haven't changed and always be on my list. And I love adding new ones as well.
Absolutely. So do we. So it has been a pleasure having you on, and you are welcome back anytime. So we expect when the EP's out that you'll be back here.
Yes, I definitely will. I cannot wait for you guys to hear it.
We're so excited. I'm so excited to do some reviews on it too. So
Yes.
looking forward to it.
Yes. Thank you so
Friends,
much.
check out the links. We'll make sure we have links to Melissa's socials, and then you can go follow her. And if you get a chance to see her live, I would do that, especially if you're in the southeastern PA, South New Jersey area.
Mhm.
I don't live in that area anymore, but if I did, I'd come and visit you. So,
You're always welcome.
all right, next time I'm there, I will come visit.
Yes,
So, friends, if
please.
you make sure you go check her out, follow her, and then stay tuned for our soon 20 crazy questions. We'll see you there.
Wait.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.